Hi.
Oh, and we are live. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome to the Magic Hour with Anna Stone
Hello.
and myself, Stephanie Siren. And tonight, Anna, what are we talking about?
Covens, Covens, and the importance of female friendship with, especially between people that are practicing of magic or,
Witchcraft.
healers, etc. People that need it specifically, like
Mm-hmm.
for a different reason, maybe than a normal person would need it. Right? Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And guys, our chat is open. If you want to talk, come say hi.
Yep.
We're ready to answer your questions about covens as we share our information about it.
Right.
So, I actually set about creating a coven in 2021 because I had come into some powers and I had gone through an initiation, several actually, but the latest one.
Right.
And I had said to myself, actually it was a voice inside my head. I can't tell you if it was my higher self
Right.
or if it was an ancestor. However, it was somebody saying, start a coven.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
You're
And what
going to
happened?
need this.
Oh, yeah. That
And
was good.
yes, yes. And so I did. I started a coven first online because, it is the modern day.
Yeah.
And then we started vibrating towards each other.
Yeah.
And Anna and I are in a coven
Mhm.
together, and we have four main pillars. And so it naturally came to us that way. It wasn't anything other than that. And I think a lot of natural witchcraft is intuitive.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so there are definitely well, there's multiple kinds of covens, right?
Yes.
There's the kind of coven that is very ceremonial, where they have initiates that they train.
Mm-hmm.
I know somebody that runs one of these, and
Mm-hmm.
they're very serious about their work. And anyone, I mean, I don't know if anyone can join it, but like, I don't think so. But I think there's things that they look for, and then they train people to do certain things, and they have to prove themselves throughout trials and things like this and tests and stuff. Um,
Right.
then there's the
Right.
other kind, which is like what ours is, which is people that are solitary practitioners their whole life.
Right.
They do it just because they can, just because they don't even maybe realize that they're doing witchcraft because it's just something that has just always been
They do.
something.
Like most healers, they don't
Yeah,
even realize they're doing it. And I mean, I can tell you, Anna, like you and I both, right, as healers, we don't even realize the effect we have on others if we haven't studied it
no,
because
I would
we
never have
don't
called
feel it.
myself that. I would never
Right.
have thought like I never in a million years thought that about myself ever. And it seemed really strange when people started
Convoluted.
saying that. Yeah, I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm the most brash person. Like, I went to try to go to medical school, right? And like, and they told me that I had a bad bedside manner. I would not, and that I would be not good for patients. And I was like, okay. So I was like, that's the image I have in my head. So when someone said healer, I was like, okay, dude, like, yeah, sure. That makes more
I
sense.
can honestly say though, it's kind of interesting too that you and I are the blunt ones in the
Mhm.
circle, and then we have two very nurturing other pillars
Right.
that like take that form, and
Yeah.
we're the ones that give you the poison that is also medicine. Like we're
Yeah.
the two who like show you like, look, this is what's going to happen to you,
Right.
like if you continue on this path.
Like, don't ask
We're
me if you don't want to know.
right, right, right. Exactly. Like if you're coming to me, we already know you're in dire straits and
Right.
like you need some help. And you need a good slap or two.
Yeah.
Um but with our counterparts in our circle, they're more the kind who's like, come here, let me
Right.
calm you, let me nurture you. And it's because we've all been shaped by our experiences and our initiations in order to be the perfect instrument for what we're doing.
Right. I mean, and that's the thing is there's when we were talking about healers anyways, like there's that term is a blanket umbrella term that applies to a wide variety, a myriad of different things. Um and uh oh, I didn't even oh, I
Oh,
need that.
guys! Oh, yes. Hello, hello, hello.
I knew
Firewoman
that.
5. No,
I
I
saw
got,
that.
yeah.
I saw that happen, and I knew that's what you were doing. I didn't think for a
Yeah, we
second.
didn't think you thought we were boring, honey.
No,
Not at all. I got your email, by the way, too.
thank you
So I'll
for
be
being
emailing
very
you back.
kind. Yeah, but like I mean, the healer thing can be applied to so many different things because there's people that are healers that are just teachers. There's people that write music, that lyrics that people resonate to and listen to in their time of need or whatever, right? Like so, and that's magic, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
that's like word crafting, right? You know, like
Oh,
songwriting.
yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. I mean,
yeah,
I write, as a priestess, I write my own ceremonies
I mean I do too.
and my
Yeah.
own prayers.
Mhm.
And I mean, there's plenty of prayer templates out there. However, it's important to imbue your own signature into the work.
Right. Yeah, like you can always use a spell that you get. I mean, online, like for as a template, like, but never. You should always edit it to put your own spin on it. Like whenever you're doing magic. Just a side note there. But like regarding the covens, like we have. So there's the two types we have. We're the ones that are like an intuitive. I don't know what you'd call it actually. Just
Intuitive
intuitive.
natural magic. You could
Right.
also say like innate folk magic,
Sure.
because
Yeah.
we're discovering as we go. Because I mean, it personally to me, in the age of Aquarius, a lot of our magic is found when we go inward.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and unfortunately, when we have bad times. That's when it comes out. When things are, I mean, because we find our strength in our weakness also, right? You know, like in the weakness
Yeah.
that we exhibit, like that we experience when we're taken
Hmm.
advantage of in those moments, and we're broken. That's when we understand like how strong we actually are, and then it gives us like a fire that makes us kind of rise again, right? It's like the goddess never not broken, right? You know, it's that.
Right, right.
So,
Because we get broken to break our heart even more open to source
right.
because we are conduits for it.
That
Um,
is the shamanic way. That is what happens in those initiations always. It's trauma is always central to the picture of
Correct.
lovely.
And also it's also, okay, so let's talk about the history of it, right? Like we see it in old texts, like for instance Shakespeare, right? Macbeth.
Right?
Okay, the
Yeah.
weird sisters, right? They're prophetesses, okay,
Mhm.
kind of like the fates, the three fates. There's three
Right.
of them. And so that was a common belief that covens were just three women. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And so that would
But
be a
isn't that
more
like a mockery of the Trinity? That's why though, right? Like isn't that I
right.
just realized that. Like that just came over
Yes.
me. Like so because the we didn't really talk about that. I mean Macbeth, yes, that was then, but like between then and medieval times, like there wasn't much reference at all. I can't find anything online actually, right? At all, like looking it up. So then we hear about it all again in medieval times from 15th to 18th century, right? So that's when witch hunts are going crazy. So what are they
Well,
doing?
that
They're
was
mocking
the
the Trinity, right?
yeah.
That's what. So it's
Where
like, oh,
they're
there's three
they're
witches,
trying to say we're mocking the Trinity
right?
because what happened was the church took over and started a very male supportive narrative to demonize us because of our abilities, and because a lot of these things like midwifery, doula stuff, healing, all these things come more natural to us. And also the things
Yeah,
that are required of us, we more easily could do.
right.
And so when it popped up again in New England, right, when we came
Yeah,
over and colonized America.
yeah, yeah. Which makes no sense. We were trying to flee religious persecution in England, and we came here and they did it worse. Like that, you know, it's like unreal. Like, anyways, but yeah, we did it again, and
We did
yeah,
it again, guys.
didn't
So
learn.
then the witch trials, right?
Mhm.
And the burnings and everything. And the thing is that if they caught you with other women, you were wicked, right? Like
Right.
convening with other women.
For so many
And
things. Yeah,
for so many things, they were so afraid.
you got a
And
birthmark, you're a witch. You have a cat, you're a witch. You have a bird, you're a witch. You have a candle in your window, you're a witch. You sold your soul to the devil. I mean, it's like unreal the amount of stuff, anything. But you know, it was really just to steal property from people, and it was women against women. By
yes,
the way, so the number one perpetrator
yes.
of witch trial bullshit was other women, and like that is
Mm-hmm.
disgusting, and like that sucks. And it's unfortunately still a prevalent thing today, where like women are not nice to each other. We hate each other. We fight with each other,
Envious.
catty, jealous, whatever it is. And let's be honest, it's hard to make friends with women. It is because of that very thing. I'm not the
Well,
nicest
it's
person,
programmed though in us
right?
to be competitive with each other. I mean, who's the prettiest? Who's the smartest? Who can fawn the best even, let's say that too. Like that's still a thing.
I know.
And
Pick
I
me,
no.
the pick me girls, right?
Oh yeah. The pick me girls. Yeah.
Yeah.
The ooh, I need external validation, please. I'll do anything for it kind of girl.
Girls? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so the most empowering thing a woman can do for themselves and each other is find other women to convene with, find other women to insert into your daily life. And like, I talk to my Coven sisters daily.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
this is new, but it's new for me.
It's
like,
new.
I legitimately did not have female friends for many years, because of bad experiences with female friends. All the stuff, like petty catty talking shit, like just real high school. I mean, and it doesn't matter. Like the thing is that we've recently, all of us in the Coven have experienced and witnessed a level of absolute ridiculousness that some other women were doing that really was shocking. Like I can't even begin. Like the amount of, and if you guys are watching, you guys are dumb. Okay, just FYI, dumb. Change my mind.
Right,
dumb,
right.
I have no idea. You say that
attacking another woman is like attacking your own sister. I mean, it doesn't matter. And as long as we continue fighting, especially when it comes to like what they think is, well, a scarcity mindset, right. Anna? A scarcity mindset, especially about a man. I personally, like, I have to say, like, there is no man that I need in my life. Now, if somebody wants to align themselves to my vibration and come along for the ride, that would be amazing. But I'm never, ever, ever going to come from a point of scarcity and say, I will fight for this man. Absolutely not.
That's not a man. Okay, so if there's a man in your life that makes you feel the need you have to fight for them against other women, they are not a man. Next.
Ciao. They're damsel in distress as well.
They have no.
They're hero seeking.
They need that validation. Like anyone that needs someone over them has serious low self-esteem, no sense of self, and like that's sad. They need therapy. What they need. Like so.
Right. And I wanted to say, I want to agree with Firewoman 5 here. Some spiritual processes were done for the male body, trying to avoid any kind of sensuality or sexuality. Yes, the semen retention and the orgasm retention. I understand exactly what you're talking about, Firewoman 5. That's in Kundalini practices.
Yeah.
And also in sex magic that I teach. Yeah. I'll be launching another class at the end of March. Everybody look for that on my website when it comes. It's going to be just like $30 a month, and it'll be 2 classes. And so it'll be great. But yeah, she said so. And then for the female, it is a mandatory part. And I agree wholeheartedly about that as well, because we have a void between our legs. We have a void that is just made in the image and likeness of the creator, which is a void. So, of like the great mother, right? So of course we're more tuned in, we're supposed to.
Like we literally, like, so there's that. And guys can't do that. I don't care what you say. I don't care. It's biology. It's required of certain genetic makeup
parts.
And like men don't like. I mean, that in the olden days, like I think maybe they were jealous. I like about that. They couldn't do it.
Of course they were. I mean, look at the times of the witch trials and everything. Like, what did men do? It wasn't. Yeah, I mean, they were the hunters. We were the gatherers. Still at that time, I mean, we had civilizations, but we weren't really evolved that much.
No, and we were so. But I mean, the women are the perpetrators of the witch hunts. Like, it started with women not liking someone and going, I don't like them. So then, like, she's a witch.
Right. They touched my man. They stole my man. And then here's the other thing, though, that I'm going to say, because this is true. And Anna, you and I both know this, because anywhere we go, this happens to us. Magnetism. When you are a practitioner of witchcraft and magic, or ceremonial magic, or ritual magic, okay, you change. Your cells change. Everything about you becomes more vibrant. You vibrate more vibrantly, higher frequencies. Right. What happens is people feel so enamored of you because they don't understand that it's actually the healing energy that they're so damn thirsty for.
Right.
But they can't figure it out because their brain is still kind of in that off mode. It's not online yet. Like, their spirituality isn't online. So they get angry. And Anna and I get told all the time, you're not 45. There's no way.
I mean, and like, it's happening less and less.
No, it is not. But you know what I mean?
I am reverse aging. Damn it. Like, this year I'm going to be 44.
There we go.
Like, that's what's happening.
There you go.
So it is.
I mean, I'm going to be 46 next week, and I'm way okay with it. And
no, I'm totally fine with my age. I'm like, I'm the best version of me I've ever freaking been. And if anyone thinks that I was better in my 20s, y'all smoking crack, because like I was right? And like, yeah, I've got my shit together now. And yeah, no, dude, that's ridiculous. But I think that age thing also is a factor here, like with, you know, all of that. Like, the older, look at the women that were accused of everything, or middle-aged women that were single, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Because again, that's a fear factor, right? Like, oh my God, she's so powerful, she doesn't need a man, you know? And
well, no one should need anyone else.
Exactly.
Them.
But in a patriarchal society that was based on teachings from a more religious, dogmatic ideal, always made it seem like you need each other. You need each other. And sometimes out in the Wild West, when we came out and colonized, people needed each other. They couldn't survive, like literally survive without each other.
Right.
And now that
we're a business transaction. Like, that's a business transaction. That is a partnership for a reason. We've skewed that to think that it means to be complete as a person and be happy, you have to have someone else completing you. And that's absolutely false. And you'll never find happipiness that way, like, ever.
No, you'll keep going. You'll keep rotating through cycles of people and trying to find that answer when it's always in you. It's
always you. And then that's the thing too about friendships. Like with women friends, it's like when you are like feeling oppressed or feeling like you can't be yourself for whatever reason, be it work or just society in general, like you got to tone it down or whatever, then the people you become friends with are going to be like that also. And then you're not going to mesh with them because you're being fake. And, you know,
I was just going to say
not
that.
Like that, not, maybe you're not trying to be fake, but like you're trying to fit in or something. And like, that doesn't, it took me 45 years to figure this out. Like, honestly, I don't care anymore. Like, I will be the weird, I am my weird self. I don't give a shit. If you don't like me, too bad. Like, you know, that's fine. Don't talk to me then. Like, it's cool.
Right. And also, though, I'm going to say fitting in is faking. I am going to say that. I'm going to be the person that says it because it needs to be told that way. Like, if you're trying to fit in, and I am guilty of this. I did this as well. I think we all have. We all wanted to fit in. So I got into friendships even that did not serve me. And I was like, why is this person so fake? But I wasn't living my truth around them. Exactly. I was people pleasing. I was being fake with them. So of course I had fake friendships. You know, I wasn't able to be the witch that I am. I wasn't able to bring my priestess self into my friendships. Right. I wasn't able to share the path I walk. Right. And so it got to a point where I had a really big death and rebirth cycle. And when that happened, it cleaned out so much crap. Mm-hmm. And my female relationships that were supposed to formed.
Right.
And even though I'm 45 years old, it came when it was necessary and when I was capable of holding the energy of these relationships and honoring them, not shrinking back and people pleasing.
Right. And that's key. Because also same, like I had like one friend for the past like decade or so, one female friend, and that was it. I was happy with that, honestly. Like, okay. But but I don't see her often, and she's got her own thing going on, and so, and it was like a hard, like when we started talking again, like because we went to school together, like we've known each other since seventh grade. So,
Yep.
but then we knew each other in seventh grade, and we were friends in seventh grade. But then stuff happens in middle school and high school, and then we stopped hanging out. But we were still in the same circle ish, I guess, but like not really. And then I was never really in school anyway. I was just ditching all the time and doing weird shit.
We kept acquaintances, but
yeah, of course. But like we weren't like hanging out all the time. But like then
our kids went to the same school. I think that was. Yeah, they did. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because because her dad had for a while. So like, I moved to LA, and then 30 years later, right, or 20 something years later, we reconnect on, like, we've been following each other on Facebook, whatever, for a long time, very long time. But like then we started talking, and then we recognized that we were both doing the same stuff. And I don't know how it didn't register with me at first, but like I had been following a business account of yours, seeing all of the stuff you're putting out and being like, oh, that's so cute, which you not putting it together that it was you. I don't know how I did that, like, but I just wasn't paying attention. And then I remember seeing your out video post about
coming out.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, hey girl, I've been out of that for a minute. Like, like just because I had just recently been like, after I died, when I had my near death experience in 2016, I was like, okay, so I know now I'm not going to hell, no matter what. Anyone that watches this video and then tries to send me some crazy message about how I need Jesus, you can just stop, please, because like, trust me, I've already been there and you haven't, like, likely. So like, I know more than you do on this one. So FYI. Okay. So like, I died, and like, know for a fact that I'm not going to hell. That's not a thing. And like, I'm loved and everything's going to be fine. So I was, as soon as that was the reality, I was like, well, bye-bye Christian guilt. I'm going to be about it, because I knew like all of that stuff that I'd been hesitant on, just in case, was wiped away in those 6 minutes that I was dead. And like, so now I'm like out, and like, I don't care who knows. Like, I do not care anymore. Don't care. I'm all about it. And so when I saw your come out, I was like, hey, cool. Right on. And then I had a test, and then this is the thing that we do. Like, kind of probe a little bit and see, like, what do you actually know? Because so many people say these days that they practice witchcraft, and they don't have any idea what they're talking about. Watching a video on TikTok does not mean you're practicing witchcraft.
No, and I can tell you, like, between Anna and I, we have so many years of practice, of learning, of studying, of just sitting down and reading stacks of books, old books, not the new age stuff, but we do read new age too.
Ancient stuff.
Right.
Old stuff, I mean, like,
old.
Yeah, I mean, I've got like over 3,000 texts from, like ancient times, like stuff that's not had to be translated over, from other languages, because like it's not from England, America, I mean, at all, nowhere near it, like, and from like BC, before, like way back.
From Germanic tribes, guys. We're talking like Sumerian too, texts, and all of it. Like this is the stuff that we tap into is the ancient goddess worship and the ancient.
All of it. I need all of it, because you can't just like to be a practitioner of magic. You have to know all of it, because it all takes from each other. So even if you don't think you resonate with something, you don't know until you read about it and research it. It's not possible. Like, so like,
right. And you can't just say. Right. You can't just say, oh, I moved something across the house, now I'm a witch, because it doesn't work that way. And I can tell you, like, I have telekinesis. Like, I do.
It's real. I mean, quantum physics, we were just talking about that in my cosmology class I just got out of right before here. We're talking about it, and it's real. Like, they can prove it in the lab. So all you naysayers.
I'm at one of my Coven sisters' homes, and I can tell you, like, poor thing, like, when we're together, like, any of us are together, things move around us just because of the energy, or break, or explode. Yeah. I mean, we've had light bulbs explode. We've had whole things, like, just come across the room, and it's the energetics. And, like, just that one thing does not make me a witch.
Nope. No, because a witch, like, to say that's not even the right word. I wish there was I wish there was a more encompassing word than witch, because witch has become, like,
which means weird. We can use the word weird. And what is the origin of the word weird, Anna? Like, what is the origin of that word? Isn't it like weird?
Weird is to be like above knowledge, like above average of knowledge, like you have more than above average knowledge. Like what was it? I gotta look it up again, but I remember this was a Germanic word, right? That came
Yes.
from way back. Yeah.
WYRD. Uh-huh.
Yeah. I gotta look it up because I don't want to say the wrong thing. But it wasn't negative. It wasn't a
No.
negative. It was a good one. But
Mm-hmm.
and then over time, I think that the study. Well, especially nowadays, no one reads anymore. Can I just
No.
say something about that really quick? Okay, so I'm going to say it anyway. So that 50 to 70% of people right now don't have the ability to talk to themselves in their head or to picture pictures in their head. Okay, that means that they don't have an imagination. Just hear me on that. No imagination. Okay, you know why? Because parents aren't reading to their kids anymore. They're handing them tablets instead, and they're just watching images. So the images are getting put in their head. When our parents read to us, or when you read to your children, it forces them to have to make these neural pathways that allow them to create mental images. When we don't read to them, literally, it takes their imagination away. I'm not kidding.
That's so sad. And you know what? I'm going to add to that too, actually, because I was really surprised at my teachers, my kids' kindergarten teacher for my kids. She had told me, she said, I can tell you read to your kids every night. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, of course. Doesn't everybody? And she was like, no, you also have them sit at the dinner table. I was like, yeah, because that's family time with me. And she was like, I've never seen a single mom do that. And I was like, well, it's necessary.
These are basics.
Right?
Basics, I thought. Like, apparently not. Common sense ain't common. But, like, yeah. So, if you want your kids to be dull, boring, lifeless robots, then continue not reading to them, I guess. But, like, if you want them to have a rich inner voice and be able to decide,
read a book and educate themselves or think for themselves in this society. We're inundated with propaganda all the time, especially with social media the way it is. I mean, look at TikTok brain. People have TikTok brain now. They can't pay attention to things because it's like a slot machine. So number one, it's addictive. Number two, they're little segments. So it's like bite-sized segments. So your brain gets used to that and lazy.
So weird. Okay, weird.
Okay.
So weird means destiny, actually, and it comes from it is Germanic origin, and it is from the late Middle English, and it's having the power to control destiny. That's what weird means, by the way. So
to manifest,
to the power to control destiny.
Mm-hmm.
That is more than
that's true.
That's more, and it and the word weird. Again, comes from, it was used for one of the first times ever in Macbeth.
Mm-hmm. The weird sisters, the prophetesses, the fates. Yes.
So, history lesson, guys. There you go. Or vocabulary lesson, I guess.
Right. Right.
That's interesting. So we have in this the weird sisters, or which are the three fates, right? From Greek mythology.
Right. Which we should also talk about what makes them witches and what makes us witches, because I think we should talk about the all-encompassing thing, because it's not just one thing.
Right. It's not. That's the thing. It's not just doing spells. That's not it. Right?
Guess what, guys? Do you know how often I do spells?
Barely ever. That's not a thing. Like, we don't do them every day. Like, that's not a thing. Like, barely ever. Like, maybe Sabbats, maybe on the holidays, maybe, but like, we don't take advantage of that. Like, it's not something that you're supposed to, I'm not
sitting in some, like, space that I created, okay, to sit there and affect everybody's destiny, okay? Like, I don't have the time for that, number one, because I'm trying to teach everybody how to follow the path who are newly awakened, and like looking for teachers. And also, like, it's more energetics than anything else. Like, if you're living this life, you're understanding the universal laws, you're understanding your magnetism, you're understanding energetic work, and it's a lot of work.
Right. It is a state of being. It's not necessarily a practice. They call it a practice, but when we call it a practice, we're talking about actual, like, ritual work. But actually, to be a witch, like, you could practice witchcraft, I guess, okay, or you could do spells. But if you are a witch, that is a lifestyle. That is a life, like, embodiment. It's not
life. Well, I don't even want to say choice, because it's not a choice. It wasn't a choice, because it was like, frick, I've always been weird.
And I never even thought it was that until I started really studying it and I'm going like, oh shit, like, oh, well, this is odd. I didn't know that. Oh, I'm so weird. That's why. Okay, cool, whatever. Weird. I can control
Right.
destiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Um,
like when it's in a child, it really rubs people the wrong way because they can't understand it. And especially in the
right.
structures that we grew up in, which were very old school and, we were picked on.
Oh my
And
God. Are you kidding me? I was bullied every day of my life, like for many,
yeah,
many years. And like,
if it
I
wasn't
never knew
one, it's
why. I was like,
another. It's
I didn't
another
do anything
because
to
it's
anyone.
no, it's
You know?
something coming after us. And I know that sounds like very paranoid, guys, but I'll explain it to you. So when you vibrate at this weird level, okay, negative entities and other things of that nature come towards you to try and harm you because they can see you. Just like
Yeah, but they can't touch you themselves. They have to go through other people.
right, exactly. So that's why the bullying, that's why the horrible time,
Bad
happening
boyfriends,
until
bad girlfriends, etc.
oh my god. Yeah, exactly. I
It
mean,
always goes through the
moments
path of the least resistant. Like, so the people that are the most susceptible to manipulation will be the ones that will mess with you. And that's why
yeah,
you can see such a marked change in people that you're surrounding yourself with when they're great at first and then suddenly they turn like just all about
unmasked.
doing your life.
Yeah,
Like,
like the mask comes
yeah,
off.
that's like, that happens a lot. Like, if you have now it could be your toxic trait. It could be that you're toxic yourself and you're attracting it. It could be that you're repeating toxic patterns from childhood, or it could be that it's that, this thing we're talking about, or it could be a combination of all those things. In which case, like mine, that was the case. And like, I had to sort that out. And it was a lifelong, still in the process, but like definitely in a much more clear state now. Like, right? Like
Oh yeah, it's how we
oh,
discover our gifts though. It's how it's like the school of hard knocks. It teaches us how resilient we are
yeah.
essentially. And like I always joke that I'm Tyler Durden, dude. Like that's how I feel from Fight Club.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Brad Pitt, like that's me, dude.
Yeah.
Like when I come into a healing, you're not getting some lovey-dovey healer. You're getting somebody who is going to realign everything in your system, and you might have both ends going, puking and everything
Oh my
just
God.
to purge it out, and it
I do
sucks
mental.
sometimes.
I do
You
mental.
do mental, yeah. And so like
So then
we
you'll be crying.
clean you out. We rotor you,
I make people feel terrible about themselves sometimes. I feel bad.
No,
But
you
like
don't.
I I just say the thing no one else wants to say. Like I say it. And
Exactly,
like
because it has to be said,
yeah.
Anna.
And I kinda like doing it actually. I'm not gonna lie. So be like, because I would want
Mm.
the same for me. Like, tell me what's up. That's why it's important to have female friends. Like, so back, to bring it back around. Like, we have this coven that we're in, and it's helpful because we're not just okay. Like, when we say coven, we're not like over here doing like freaking dancing in the naked in the moonlight shit. Okay, like that's not what's happening. We maybe sometimes. No, I'm just kidding. We haven't done that yet. But we are doing things together, like talking to each other and like counseling each other, and we're like getting, like support from each other. Not necessarily like, it's like we're conjuring fucking demons and shit. Like, not that. That's not what it means. And it's important to have female friends in your life if you are a healer, if you are
Mm-hmm.
in this path, because there's power there. There is power. It's like amplified. It's like one person's gets when you are supported, right? When you feel supported and cared for and loved and safe is key. Safe is the number one thing I think. Then
Yes.
it allows the defense mechanisms that have been stifling your magic, whatever you want to call it, power, to be open back up, like unstifled. Like it allows them to be like, in their natural state where you're not super worried about all this other stuff going on because you're supported and safe with your sisters. Then it amplifies your power. And that's just like that's a psychological situation too. Like it's known that like friendships, there's a place in Italy. Okay, there's a mountain town in Italy where the average life expectancy age is 120 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because all of them, their number one priority is friendship. Out of any other thing, it's friendship. They've done studies on this town. I can't remember what it's called. I'll look it up and tell you guys in a minute. But like they've done study after study, and the only difference that they have is that they, number one, everybody is connected to each other. They don't watch TV. They don't have phones and the internet. Like they just hang out with each other all the time. And those people live over 120 years old on average. On average.
That's a great argument for co-regulation too. And
Co-regulation.
that's what we do with each other because we can't co-regulate with a normal person. It's overwhelming for hello everybody, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, Jen is
Ashia really okay.
A classmate of mine. Actually, she's in my program, like graduate program. So hi, Jen.
Awesome.
Yeah. So this is yeah, that's okay. So thank you. Awesome. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's amazing because it's like that. Co-regulation is key, Stephanie, and that is.
It is, and you can't okay, so co-regulation is bouncing things off of others, right, in your group. Asking them, like, I'll give an example. Like when one of us is getting gaslit and we know that we have a vulnerability to it, okay? Because we've been told our whole lives, no, that didn't happen, when something supernatural, quote unquote, would happen to us. So because that was already the narrative, it's very easy to like gaslight us. So we go to each other and we say, okay, what do you think of this sentence? What do you think of what this person is saying to me? Even if it's our partner, because we put our coven at a point where we keep each other accountable for our highest good for each other.
Right.
Because there's no shame. There's no shame in us showing up and saying, I need you.
Right.
I need help. I don't know what the hell's happening. When my last ex pulled the crap that he did, I knew that I was going to need my sisters to keep me accountable for making sure I had the boundaries to get away from him.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes. And so the morning that I found out everything, I got immediately on the phone and told all of my coven. And I was like, I need y'all to keep me accountable because I don't want to be a doormat for this person anymore.
Yeah.
And so I need to bounce my stuff off of you guys.
Right.
And so like, y'all came to you didn't rescue me though. That was the thing. Right. You guys gave me a mirror to see like, okay, what happened? What could you do differently? What can you do for yourself?
Right. That's the key. So co-regulation is like, it's in psychology, in psychological terms anyways, it's about, we have to regulate ourselves. Like we're adults and it's our responsibility to regulate ourselves. Okay. We cannot find this in other people, but we can be supported in it by other people. So you cannot expect someone else to fix your problems for you ever. It will not work and you will end up just being miserable. So what you have to do is you have to first try to regulate yourself and then get support with friends. So it's having the ability to talk and be honest and open with people and have them give you feedback that you are then receptive to, which helps to damper your anxiety and your stress. Like that's what it is. And that's co-regulation is key. And it's really important to have it with people that are of like your peers, right? It can't just be in a romantic relationship either, because then now you're becoming codependent. Like right. And codependency is when you are looking towards your partner or your friends to regulate for you. Like you're not taking responsibility. It's up to them to make you feel better. And that is absolutely toxic. Like absolutely toxic.
And a coven shouldn't be codependent. And also another one is if you're being delulu and it's not part of the path, like we will call you on it. We'll be like, girl, you're delulu. Like that's crazy. What are you talking about?
You have to have people that you trust enough to know that they're not going to just blow smoke up your ass, right? Like it's important.
Yes.
Like because my situation now is where I have this great boyfriend now, right? Like he's freaking fabulous. And so fabulous. And but because of my past, like I don't know, like I was not sure. Right. Like, not all the time. Like I'm like, okay. So I have to ask them, like, hey guys, like, is this legit? Like, like
right. It's a check-in.
Yeah, it's a check-in. And it's not like I don't trust my own judgment. Actually, I actually am doing much better at that. But it's like I've been duped before and I don't want it to happen again. So I have people I trust now that I can ask these questions to that I know aren't going to feed me a line of bullshit. And
yes,
because I remember back in high school, guys, when you had friends and they would tell you whatever you wanted to hear just because nobody wanted to be the bad guy. No one wanted to say the truth. Like nobody needs that. That is not helpful. That's how we end up with
enabling
absolute incompetent idiots. Like, because when everyone's being told that they're fine, everything's fine and it's not. Like that causes
Yeah, I can give you like a line about it. Like, I was watching a comedian and he was talking about how he heard these two girls talking at a dinner table. And this one girl got broken up with, and the other girl is like, "Oh, stop it. You're amazing. He's crap. You're amazing." And that doesn't help anybody. Like, that's sweet to be supportive, but that's not getting the job done. You
Right,
know, that's not helping your friend. That's just like blowing smoke up her butt and telling her she's great when maybe the thing that got her in the relationship was she didn't instill a boundary. Or maybe she didn't honor herself. Right.
Yep. Yeah, low self-worth, etc. Right. So
right. And like, that's the other thing in our coven is that I've noticed is that we not only tell the truth to each other, but we believe in each other. It's like, it's not just I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth because I believe in you and I know that this is your path and you're just going to keep getting better.
Yeah, and like, but doing this thing maybe is not the right way. Like, and you know, and if they don't, if any of us don't take that advice, it's not like we're gonna get like shunned.
No,
you know, I mean, that's the other thing too.
We'll catch you when you fall too. Yeah,
it's like, you know, and having, because that's one of the worst things that can happen. I think is there's this narrative that like when you have a friend that's in a bad situation, and especially with abusive relationships, talking about abusive men or women, okay, either way, people tend to leave those people because they don't want to hear about it, and they want, and it is taxing. Let's call it what it is. It
is taxing.
It's frustrating. It's fucking bullshit. And like
someone who wants to be right, somebody who wants to be rescued, you know, it is a taxing situation to hear them and be there for them. It's very hard.
But that being said, by abandoning them or just being all about like that guy or that girl's a jerk, you know, all that does is push them deeper into that abusive situation and leaves them with no resources. So you may not be the person for this. I'm not saying that everybody can do this because not everybody can do this. Like, not everyone can stay and show up for somebody like this. But if you are one of those people, God bless you, and like, you know, and keep doing that because that's amazing. People, we need that. Like, because if I hadn't had my sisters when I was going through the breakup I had a year ago, I mean, I have no idea. Like, it was so bad, and like I would have probably went right back. I know. Like, I'm not dumb. Like, I know what I am dumb in that sense, but like I wasn't.
We jokingly call it a dumb bitch move in our coven. Like, we do tell each other that. They were like, "Don't be a dumb bitch. We love you." You know, and like we laugh about it, you know, but it is something that happens. And like last year we had a lot of parallels. We still do, but one of the parallels was we went through breakups very at similar times. Literally. And it was not coordinated. Mine followed a very rough initiation where I almost died. And then where am I going to go where I've had a rough initiation? Am I going to go to some shaman I don't know? Am I going to look on the internet for a priest? No, I'm going to go to my sisters in my coven and say, this is the evidence. This is the things that I've experienced. And they help me deduce the situation and understand it. And we research together. And that's also a huge part of it, is we all research together. If it's like, oh, I don't have the answer, let me see if I can find the answer. And then let's use our expertise from our many years on this work to understand what's happening to you, because it's not in a manual. It's not going to be found just by asking your doctor, oh, hey, did you know I got possessed and almost died? Can you fix that? It doesn't work that way.
He can't help you either in there. Like that one.
Right.
I mean, he'll tell you you're Delulu, like literally.
Right.
He'll say something like, these kinds of concepts should be taken with a grain of salt. Like, he'll tell you some shit.
Or you get a grippy sock vacation, you know, where you're just having a mentee bee in the hospital. Like, you don't need that.
But see, like with Stephanie's situation, like I invited her to this online library. I had a classmate in my program that passed away, unfortunately, last year, and right before he passed away, he gave me the access to his online occult library of all of his books, and there was thousands of them. And he said to me, like, make sure you give it to like access to people that are worthy, right? Like, and then he died, and I was like, oh my god, you know. So now I have the you know, like admin or whatever of this thing. So I was like, here, Stephanie, maybe you can find something in here. So I invited her to it, and she was able, like, immediately, the first book she opens up, it has everything that she needed to know about her experience in it. And like that's just like one of those kind of serendipitous kind of things that happen when
For
you're in
us all the
alignment,
time.
when you're with people that you're supposed to be with. Like those kinds of synchronicities will occur. Carl Jung's, there's a book here. I have it right next to me. Carl Jung's book on synchronicities. You guys should get it. If you don't have it, it looks like this. It's paperback and it's like $5-6. It's great. And it's about synchronicities and like how they show up and like what they could possibly mean. And when you're experiencing them, when they're positive, hopefully, then that's a good indicator that you're in the right space, right? When you're not in the right space, you'll know because things are going to be held up for you. Things are going to be stagnant. Things are stagnant. By the way, stagnant is bad. Like just always bad. It's bad.
Oh, it is. And if you're having a rough time in life where you're like, I can't catch a break, you're out of alignment, my friend.
Yeah, there's
And
something you're not honoring. There's something you're doing wrong. Like there's something about yourself, your psyche that needs to be expressed that you're not like you're not giving enough attention to. You're not living in that truth, and like it needs to be out, and like that will cause a lot of anxiety. Like if you have anxiety like unknown, like why you just always feel uneasy or whatever, like there's probably something there like that you need to be about more than you are willing to be about, right? Like that happened with me with the whole witch, like with the whole magic stuff is like that forever until I just was like, no, I'm about it now 100%. Then my life changed completely, like 100%. So let me see. I see a comment here. Let's see what we got. So I've always felt super misunderstood growing up and never had good luck with friends. Right now I'm 23 years old and still have yet to find my tribe. Girl, yeah, I feel you. I'm 45 and I barely found mine. So,
right. But also it happens after you do the work on yourself. And also I want to say that I understand that, and it's because you're vibrating different. And that's the other thing that I wanted to talk about. And this sounds like some inner child healing, Shania, that you might want to handle. Yeah. And that worked for us. Actually, we did a lot of inner child healing in our coven.
Kicking and screaming, because I heard that term and I was like, lame. So lame. So lame. Like I 100% thought.
You were like, I'm not here for this.
I was like, dude, no, this is dumb. This is stupid. And like, I immediately knee-jerk reaction. That is a huge sign. If you have a knee-jerk reaction to something.
Like, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, if someone suggests something to you and you immediately recoil, like with like you're repulsed by it or like just grossed out, that is absolutely a sign that is exactly what you need to do. Because that is literally your inner temper tantrum child doing I don't want to eat my peas, whatever. Okay, I'm serious. Like, and I hate that I'm admitting this. I hate it that I was wrong. I hate being wrong, right? Like, but I was, and it turned out that was in absolutely what I needed to do. And
God, yes,
like so bad. And I knew that I had a bad childhood growing up. That's everyone that knows me knows this is true. But like for me, I was always like, I'm fine. It didn't kill me. I'm fine. That which doesn't kill me makes me stronger. No, it actually just causes you to make up a whole bunch of maladaptive defense mechanisms that you carry into adulthood, and now it's messing up your life. And so you can live in that.
I just saw sorry, go ahead. Okay, so I just saw a question, but what are some ways? Okay, this is perfect. I'll give you an example. Anna and I now do a thing with our coven and with our extended coven too, like other people in our community. Every year we go on an all-girls camping trip that I started last year, and my girls came out to it kicking and screaming. And I only had 2 people show up because everybody else was either sick or having panic attacks.
I was almost gonna come.
I know you almost didn't come and say. I almost was alone on the coast, which I would have been fine with, but I would have brought my dog. But I was so excited for it, and I knew that we were going to do some fun stuff. Like, I knew we needed to have fun. After I almost died, I was like, I need to have fun, dude. Like, I need to do something to, like, bring up my spirit. And so we played. We played like we would have if we were kids. We went to do things that we wanted to do. We played on the beach. We went for a hike. We went and did magic in the woods.
And there was a swing in the woods by the coast, like right by the rocky, like, cliffside of the ocean. And like we found this swing on a tree, just random. And we swang on it And like, this is the thing. I didn't want to go. And I was like, all right, girl, I know I'm recoiling about it. So because I know this, I'm like, I'm going to go because I don't want to. And that means I have to, I need to. So I did. And I got there at night. So I didn't see the whole campsite, right? Like, right, you know, I could only see what was lit up. In the morning, I wake up and I see these smokestacks. And I'm like, oh my God, I know where I am. My father was in prison my entire childhood. And like, I used to have to go every stupid weekend to go see him in prison and have to be with around all those prison people and like that whole shit and like sit on serial killers' laps while they tell me stories about fucking Three Little Pigs. Like, it's just shit that kids should never have to deal with. And like,
Yeah.
and I got, you know, my life was a hell because of what my dad did. And like, and so all of those weekends as a kid from, you know, 0 to 12, when I should have been doing stuff with my friends and having fun and stuff like that, I was at the prison. So those smokestacks were next to the prison. And I hadn't realized that I mean, as I drove into Morro Bay or whatever, or where we were, San Luis Obispo, this road became very familiar. And I was like, oh my God, do I know where I am? Oh my God, there's the prison. And like, I haven't seen it since I was 12. So like, I had not been by there since I was 12 years old, but I still remembered it, like how it looked. And then I get to the campsite, which it seems like it's far away. It seemed far away from the exit to the prison. Right? But in the morning, I wake up and boom, there they like right there are these smokestacks that are literally part of the prison compound ground. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, oh my God. And so I was kind of weirded out by that. But we went through this whole thing. Stephanie took us and we did all this stuff and we went and had like lunch. We went shopping. We did like girl stuff. We were being silly, goofy, like singing songs, like walking down the street like weirdos. Like
We had
fun.
dessert for lunch. We had dessert for lunch.
Yeah.
Remember? We were like all about the pies and
yeah. We went to Hearst Castle. We saw some amazing. By the way, Hearst Castle. Can I just say, dude. Okay, so you know the Louvre, how they have like the paintings of like Madonna and Child, like you know from Michelangelo. Okay, that's a copy. The original is in Hearst Castle. They had 3,500-year-old statues of Sekhmet from fucking Egypt, a 3,500-year-old relief from the Temple of Diana from fucking ancient Rome. Like, and you could just stand next to it, and like there was no casing around it, nothing, and it was like I had no idea it was going to be like a thing like that at all. I was out of my mind. Like I was out of my mind. I was in tears half the time. Like right, like I was like crying.
We saw the book of Gregorian chants. Remember, we both got chills. We were like, "Oh my God!"
I'm 5'2". This book was literally 5'2". Like it was humongous, and I was just like, "Oh my God, we're around all these artifacts that had all this energy, and it was amazing." And as I'm driving home from this trip, I start crying, and I don't know why. I felt really good, but like I was sad. And then I wasn't sad. I was like, no, I just reclaimed my fucking childhood. Like I just literally went to the place where my life was like spent every weekend dealing with that shit with my dad. And I had fun with my friends as I should have every weekend of my life as a kid. And I was able to do the things I couldn't do back then. So the number one thing to do about inner child healing is to accept like that you got cheated out of a part of your childhood. And then to look back at that, whatever age it was where the big trauma happened. Like, so mine was like around 12, I guess, or 6 years old, 12 years old, and then like 15, right? Like I have like 3 of them. But like you find like a middle ground and you say, at that age, what did I want to do that I couldn't do? What would I have loved to do? And so like I go roller skating all the time. By myself, I go put some roller skates on, put my hair in pigtails and go roller skate because that's what I would have loved to do at 12. And I have fun doing it. I don't give a shit who thinks I'm weird. Don't care. I also buy costumes, like Halloween costumes, and dress up in my house randomly just for myself, not for anybody else, just so I could be like Alice in Wonderland in the middle of the day. I don't care. It's about what
I wear overalls and I paint murals and I have my hair in space buns and I'm hanging out with my dog in my backyard. And so like I'm happy.
You venerate the child. You take that. First of all, I think starting by writing a letter to your child self and saying like, hey, this is how you turned out. Thank you. Like, you know, and it'll make you cry. It should make you cry. Okay. Like it should absolutely bring some bad emotions. Like, you know, some very deep emotions to you. But like you write a letter and you appreciate, you thank her for all of the stuff that you know, sticking up for you in times of trouble, taking over, that kind of stuff. And let her know that you're good now, like that you're an adult and that she can be a kid. And then to make her be a kid, like to help that is you go and you get ice cream, you do fucking a pony ride, you buy a Barbie you never got as a kid, whatever it was that like you didn't get to do, and you reparent yourself. And that's like, it starts there. And then there's a lot more after that, but like it starts there, I think is like a good place to do it. Cause I mean, I had so much healing from that one trip and it wasn't even on purpose, in my opinion. For her it was, she knew what she was doing. I didn't know. I went kicking and screaming, you know? like I did. So,
But it was so healing, and then we did it again the next month, and we found a different location, and we continually do that because it's so healing, and so it makes me so happy, and it makes you happy, and it makes our sisters happy, and it's something that we need. It like fills our tank with so much joy.
Yeah, this is the perfect time for me to bring up this thing that I just discovered. Okay, like, so this is another thing that if you have trauma, you're likely experiencing this too, and I just found out about it. It's called contrast avoidance. I was like, why am I sad? Like, I'm having this great relationship now. I'm with this guy that actually like loves me, and he means it. I can't believe I'm saying that, and he like all my weirdness. He's all about it. It's great. Okay. And but all of a sudden I started feeling this like profound sadness, and I was like, what is wrong with me? And I called Stephanie, and I'm like, girl, I'm like having a panic attack, like, and I just went off the rails. Like I was just like going down the rabbit hole. Thank God he didn't hear any of this, but like he does know that I went through it. I did tell him, but he didn't hear it in the active state. Thank God. But like I was out of my mind, and I started doing some research, and I find this thing called contrast avoidance, and I'm like, well, what the hell is that? It is the subconscious, like, aversion, like to situations and people that would be in contrast to what you're used to. So if you're used to trauma, if you're used to chaos, if you're used to bad things happening to you,
Abuse.
you very well are subconscious, very well likely might be subconsciously sabotaging any situation that would bring the opposite of that. So the thing that you want so bad, that the nice feelings, the love, the support, you're like, whenever that shows itself, suddenly you do something to sabotage it. Or you don't find it attractive because it's too boring or something like that, right? Or in my case, it was like a profound sense of sadness because I realized at this moment I've missed this for 45 years. I've never had it before.
Right. And that can happen. So it does show up as grief, right? But it also then it showed up for you as fear. I remember hearing your fear that you were going to be rejected. Because what happened was you made yourself so vulnerable, which is excellent. That's what we want to do. That's the goal. But it's like you got to be vulnerable and strong. And it's a delicate balance. And so when somebody has trauma, we're trying to navigate an extra feeling about it. We're trying to like see, okay, am I sabotaging? Do I not deserve this? Like, why is this so foreign to me? Why am I so uncomfortable?
I was so uncomfortable.
We have somatic inertia. We do. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, as far as the body goes, like we continually have these reactions because it's what our body knows, right? So the moment we're doing something that's not with the program of the trauma program that we've instilled in ourselves, our comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
Then it's like, oh my,
yeah. This is important right here. So yeah, that's something I've always had a hard time doing, just being able to play and get into in a childlike state. A girl, you're queen of that right here. Like, ask Stephanie, I'm doing a swing. I'm on the swing and I have my legs crossed like a proper lady, right? Remember, I was like not smiling. I was just like I was trying not to smile.
I was making fun of you.
I was trying to not laugh. I was trying. I was doing my damnedest to not, and it finally broke me. So you've got to find the thing. So first of all, don't give a shit what other people think. The fact that you care, like you think that you're about embarrassed for being silly, that is likely stemming from the fact that you feel like other people are judging you. And you know what? Who cares? Like, honestly,
who cares? At the end of the day, who cares?
Yeah. I mean,
those people are walking home going, oh my God, did you see that lady on that swing? Like, if somebody's doing that, they're frightening.
I 100% lived this for so many years, like where I cared a lot about what other people thought. And then I realized, like, dude, I'm living my life for other people at this point and not for myself. Like, I have to really just stop caring because it's about my happiness first and foremost. It has to be. If I am not happy, then I can't show up for other people and help them. So, like, so think of it as like a bigger part of the collective, like where you are important because you have to help other people also. So it's not just about you. It's about other people too. That's a way to hack that, kind of like, so
absolutely. Absolutely.
And get out of your head. Your 6-year-old self was not in her head. Maybe a little bit because maybe some trauma, but like, the innocence, like you need to just have fun. Like do something fun. And you're at that age though, at 23, that's a harsh age to try to be doing this because you're trying to be an adult at the same time, right? Like you don't, and then
you're still learning how to be an adult, and it doesn't like fully happen until after 25. So give yourself some patience. I know, but I'm saying like give yourself some patience.
Right. Be
Give
grateful for yourself.
yourself some grace
Yes.
and allow yourself to just be, because it sounds like you're trying to push a little bit too hard for some healing. And sometimes when we push, we can collapse on it. So
Or give
definitely
up.
chase
Yeah.
the fun.
Yeah. So that's a key. Like, that's why I said start with the, like, having the fun part, because the other stuff is dirty and nasty. Like, and it hurts. And it's like, it's, it's kind of it's not fun. But
No.
the first part has to happen first, which is where you acknowledge that some stuff you missed out on, and here you're going to do it for yourself. It's all it is. Um,
Yes.
and you
Hello.
deserve
Welcome
it.
to the chat, guys.
Shania, is it Shania? I don't know. I'm sorry. Shania. So bad with names. You guys know this. I'm a teacher too. I do this to my students' names all the time. I'm like, sorry. Okay. I'm dyslexic too, so that's hard. But yeah, like, so this is a big thing. Like, you deserve this, girl. Like, let me tell you right now. Like, I don't care what anyone else has ever said to you. All that's bullshit. Like, also the narratives that you hear in your head about yourself, like, it's time to deconstruct those. Like, look at the people that said it to you, and then look at their lives. Like, are they really the experts here? Like, are they really worthy of, like, your, like, of living rent free in your head? Absolutely not. I'm gonna venture a guess that they're not. And, like, because people that do things that make us feel bad typically are just really miserable people. And
Absolutely.
yeah, and they have, like, their words weight on us, but, like, they shouldn't, because they're really just projecting about themselves. So whatever
They're
it is that you know
miserable.
about yourself that makes you feel shitty, just know that the person that said it to you is talking about themselves. They weren't talking about you. They were talking about themselves.
Yeah.
And then you can start to deconstruct from there and be like, okay, this is not my own belief. This is somebody else's belief about me. And, like, it's really important.
You're so welcome. You are so welcome. Like,
Yeah.
of course. And yeah, like, look, okay, now your brother's in prison. So, like,
not funny, but yeah, like, exactly.
like,
hold
look,
those
where that
things.
went for him, his good advice, right? So,
Right.
don't
Yeah.
worry about
I
it.
mean, like, no, I mean, I'm not laughing at your, because prison, hello, I know about that. It sucks. But let's just say that he may not be the best judge character here, like that's a given.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
that's kind of obvious there. Something fun I wanted to talk about, Anna, because, like, we did say, like, one thing doesn't make you a witch. I want to talk about our gifts because they are multifaceted, and I wanted to ask you on camera if you're willing to share. Okay, because I know it's kind of iffy that we share these things, but what are your gifts that you feel you bring into the coven? Number one. And number two, I mean all your supernatural gifts.
I know.
Okay.
Well, I'm psychic. Like, I hear shit in my head all the time. That I don't know how I know it. Like, that happens all the time. I can talk to dead people, I guess. Yeah, I can. They talk through me. That happens. I didn't know that was happening until I videotaped that tarot reading for you. About a year and a half ago. Like, right when I videotaped it and I sent it to you and I watched it and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, what am I doing in this video? Like, why am I? Because I thought I was reading cards, right? Like, I thought I was just reading tarot cards. I read tarot cards since I was 12 years old. And so that's tarot cards. Like, I didn't really know how they were working, but now I do, because I saw that video and I was mortified. I actually was very concerned about it. I thought, oh my God, because, to me, channeling is possession, right? So that's terrifying to me,
Right.
coming from that religious background. But I saw the video of me, and instead of me reading cards and looking at them and telling Stephanie some stuff, I'm like, yeah, what? Okay. And then saying something. Like, I'm like talking to something in the room and then repeating, I guess, what I'm hearing, and I have no recollection of it. Okay. None. And that's not what I thought I was doing at all. And so I had a huge crisis at that moment. I was like, what is going on? This is terrifying. And I'd already gotten in that psych eval to check that I'm not schizophrenic and I don't have any mental illness. So that was that was ruled out. So then I had to start saying, okay, like, and then just constantly happening over and over again. So, okay, so I'll say that that's a thing. And also, I mean, I can just, like, if I have to be very careful with my thoughts, very careful, and even more careful with my words, because when I think about something, if I think about it a lot, it will happen, good or bad. But usually it's bad. So, like, I got to make sure I reframe. But the other thing is that, like, if I speak it, it happens. Like, you've seen this yourself, like when we were out, like, on the trip. I said, how many times during that trip did I say some random shit, and then like within a half an hour that random shit happened, like literally, right? Like I wasn't just imagining that, right? That actually happened.
Right,
Like,
right.
yeah. So I guess I don't know if I can manifest stuff, and then I can.
It's
Or if I get
you
really mad,
do.
my
You
hair will
shouldn't
turn.
minimize
If I get really mad, my hair turns more red, and
your
also
eyes too.
my eye break things like glasses will break or something. It just happened recently at the
Hmm.
witchcraft store. I went to go get some supplies, and I was really upset and mad because somebody had been doing some shit about me, like putting fake profiles up about me online, and I was gonna get supplies for a spell, and I was upset. I was mad, and I went in there and I was like, I need this herb, and the lady went to reach for the glass jar, and she's like 6, 7 inches away, like far away from it still, and it just shattered on the top shelf, and it just broke, and everything fell out of it. And she goes, "Well, now, I think you need to calm down a little bit, darling." And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And she's like, "What?" And like the whole floor was like staring at me, and I just felt so like, oh my gosh. Like,
Embarrassed.
yeah, I was embarrassed. I didn't touch it, right? But like, it was. I mean, the lady was like, blamed me immediately.
Well, your energy touched it, right? Like, let's be honest.
I mean, I
And
didn't. I
that's
wanted the herb, so I don't know why I didn't. It was a counter.
because you were angry. And
I was very
anger
angry.
is a destructive
Yeah,
emotion at times. And I mean, even if it's necessary for the destruction of something, like it's destructive.
and then there's
So, of
fire.
course.
There's fire in
Yeah,
fire.
exactly.
Like
And
I
then
have,
the
I
other
can
thing
make fire move. Like I can make fire do stuff. Like if I stare at it.
I was gonna say that. I was
Literally.
gonna say one of your gifts is that, well, let's talk about that. I mean, you have a triple Leo, like you're
Yeah,
a Leo trine, right? Your
yeah,
three majors are fire.
yeah.
So you definitely are able to wield fire. And your
Right.
candle magic is off the
Always works.
charts.
Yeah, it always works. Yeah.
Always.
Never,
Right.
never, never once not worked. Yeah, true.
Right. Right. And your protection is off the charts. That's
Right.
another one that you
Mhm.
have.
Yeah.
That is a great gift.
Right. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. Not really sure why that is a thing, but it definitely is a thing. And I mean, yeah. But the fire thing happens. Like, there's things that bad thing. Like another thing too is that protection thing is scary. That can be scary.
It can
Because
be scary, but when we say we're highly protected or highly favored, y'all better believe and like not mess with us. Like
no,
if
like I
that's
mean, it's like it's scary because it's like I don't want to get blamed for stuff that I literally
right.
didn't do, but probably did. Like yeah. So there's a thing with fire. Like people that have messed with me have had bad time with fire. Like, and I have nothing to do with it. Literally nothing. Nowhere
You
near
don't
it.
have to. You don't have to. You're highly protected. And so Anna obviously is the element of fire in our coven. And so she would be like representative of the direction of the south.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so then there's myself, who I have a water trine in my
Mhm.
chart.
Yep.
My big three are all water. So I have this ability to easily meld with other people, like mind meld even.
Yeah.
I am a psychic medium. I've been aware of that since I was 5 years old. Because I come from a psychic family, so I was able to have a little bit of a push and help with my abilities that my other parts of my cohort didn't have as much.
Yeah.
In my coven, I only have one other sister who really had that with our mom, which she taught her just like my mom taught me the Akashic records, how to read them by the time I was 20.
Right.
Because I had successfully predicted my grandparents' deaths down to the details. I had dreams and I came to my mom and I was like, look, this is what's going to happen, and it played out exactly that way. And so she was like, you need to definitely read the Akashic. So that's what I learned to do first.
That's
And
so lucky. I got gaslit about seeing auras, as a kid.
oh, I mean,
But
I still got gaslit before that, though. There was a lot of rough stuff in my childhood where they would say, oh, you're just schizophrenic, or I had an exorcism, or,
yeah,
like
I
all
had an
these
exorcism.
things.
Wait, but so did I. So just found out that happened too. Yeah, ghosts, dude. Like, by the way, yeah, the big one I forgot is ghosts. Like Every house I've ever lived in has been haunted. Every single one.
Because you transmute and you send people to the other side. You help those who are stuck.
My house right now is not haunted though. It's not. It's not. It's not. Nice. Thank God, because I know now about it. It's like when you don't know it, they are around you. It's weird. It's like once you, I don't even know how to say it. It's like once you own it, right? Then it stops, kind of, and you have control over it, I guess, is what it is.
Right. Okay. So then my other one is I have telepathy. Some people's thoughts are really, really super loud when I walk by them, and it's pretty funny. And I
people get scared of that shit though. Like,
well, yeah, and I also have the ability to put images in other people's minds, which is also another form of telepathy. I can, like, if somebody's open, I can, like, make them see certain things in their mind's eye. Yeah. And I don't use it for bad. I only use it for fun. It's like a fun game of charades with me.
For bad. Like, we don't do anything.
Never.
Like,
no.
Like,
no.
Yeah, no. There's no hexing. No. I mean, like.
Right. No, I think Chalet, or I hope that's how you say your name. Yeah, sometimes it sucks, and sometimes it's like, because I can hear some guys, like, I'll be walking by and they're like,
oh, okay.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I had that incident at school. So I'm a professor at a college, right? Okay, here in LA. And I'm walking across a crosswalk with people, like, people that go to school or whatever. And there's a man in a business suit with a briefcase. I don't know where the hell he was going. But I heard him ask me, what time is it? And I tell him, and he looked at me and goes, I didn't say that out loud. And I was like, I did. And he's like, no, I didn't. And he looked at me with so much fear in his eyes, and he fucking ran. He literally ran away from me. Like, he ran away from me, and it made me cry. He was so rude about it. Like, I was so, because I heard it, like 100% heard it. And he's sitting there telling me that he didn't say that out loud. And he looked like legit that he was going to have a heart attack. And
freaked out.
Like I was the devil, and like ran, and he said something like, you're a fucking witch, and ran away. And I was like, oh my God, did that just happen? And it really upset me, like really bad. Like, I was so upset by this. I went to my car, started crying. Like, I was like, oh my God. Cause the way he looked at me was like with this disgust / fear. Like, I had never experienced that before. And I was like, I'll never know if he actually said it out loud, but like, I swear he said it out loud. Like, I swear he did. And he was not having it, but whatever. Like, I don't know about that. That was a weird day. That was really upsetting to me.
Well, yeah. I mean, and it because it's unsettling for, I joke, I call them muggles, but it's unsettling for someone who doesn't experience this all day, every day, like us. Like, I tell people, I'm like, I don't need psychedelic drugs because my life is a psychedelic drug. Like, right. I see auras. I'm clairvoyant, guys. So
I think everyone. I think that
highly visual
aura, right? Like, I think that's one thing. I'm not sure. Like,
yes. Yeah. And I was gonna say, well, but you and I have also seen The Matrix.
Oh yeah.
We've seen the actual fabric of our universe when we're reading people. Not all the time, mind you.
No.
Or just when we're having a visitation or something, it will happen and we see it.
Yeah, and there's a guy on TikTok that has an experiment that shows it, guys. Like, if you're interested in like this, I'm dead serious. There's like a refracted light laser that he uses, and it will. And when he shoots that laser beam, like, it's just a regular, like, if you have a light level to hang pictures, like one of those things you could buy like Home Depot, and it has like a laser light that shoots out the end, so you can project a straight line. That's a refracted light laser, and if you put that light out and then you look at it, like just underneath it, you can see the binary code. You can see the thing that's running in the background.
Oh my gosh, I gotta put this on because Anna and I have talked about this. Shaylee is her name. Okay, so that part, I've tried acid, and I mean, I still had an experience, but it was nothing like people normally experience. Okay, so let me tell you, when I was a teenager and stuff, I experimented like crazy. And then as an adult, I tried plant medicine to try my healing journey, right? And I can tell you that I don't experience it like everybody else. All these other people were tripping balls. Right. They were just out of their minds. And I'm like over here going,
like, why is it like just like a little bit more enhanced maybe, but nothing like that? Like,
yeah. I
what?
could
You never see me, like,
maintain.
fucking Freddy Krueger over here in the corner, and I'm like, "Woo, trails!" Like,
Right, right. Yeah, it's just like, I see that all the time. Like, I see fractals, like when somebody's like,
they're everywhere.
yeah, they are. And the other thing that I was gonna say was, yes, my rituals work, my magic works.
Yeah, dude.
Just
Like, I
like
mean,
Anna, mine are usually intuitive. I listen to the ancestors whisper to me, and
yeah,
they actually tell me how to set up my altar. They
yeah,
tell me how to set up my ceremony if I'm doing one. They tell me how to do my spell. They tell me how to heal somebody. If somebody comes to me, I do an actual ritual for their healing. If you see my healing on my website, like I do it remote because if you were in person with me, it might be too much. Like the
right.
energy does get a lot.
Okay, so like when you say
And
ancestors tell you stuff, right? Like, okay,
yeah,
so I just did a workshop on my tarot, and I saw somebody said that they were there, and I thank you for showing up. But like we were talking about that, like how do we get messages? Like how does it come across? So in this case, right, like for me, when I just sometimes know how to do something, and I have no idea how I know how to do it, like, and that's also like you're being guided in those cases. Like if you just know, like if someone came to you and was like, I don't know, I feel like I got this like something around me or whatever, and you're like, okay, let's do this thing, and suddenly you're just like doing stuff, that's probably because your ancestors are guiding you in that moment. Like, there's no like. Sometimes it can just be like a knowing. There's no like. Sometimes you can hear a voice. Sometimes it can just be a knowing. Like you just know what to do. Suddenly, it's like a aha moment. Like, and those are all valid experiences that can happen. But we gaslight ourselves into thinking that it's just like coincidence or it's just some like fluke or whatever. But throughout the centuries, like shamanic cultures have always like believe that this was a thing, and like and if you like read anything from like Eliade or any of the other like great like cultural anthropologists, you'll read about that, like that it's very, we're like the only culture that doesn't do this, like
right.
literally um everybody else like, and or take dream state as a actual state of being, like
It is, though. It is a state
yeah,
of being, and it's where you receive messages
yep,
and you visit your ancestors.
yep, yep,
And so, people like you guys hear the thing like astral projection, astral travel, right? Well, it's the easiest to do through your dreams.
yep,
So, that's why there are quote unquote dream walkers, right?
yeah,
Shamans who know how to lucid dream and then approach it respectively and handle things in the astral for maybe themselves and their ancestors, or maybe
right,
that's where they do their ritual work or their spell work, right?
right.
Because it's an easier access point.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, because
We
your guard's down. Like the logical mind is no longer in control when you're in the dream state. That's why your dreams are so crazy, because your logic mind is off. It's off. It's only your creative side that, so it's allowing you to be like as you normally are, actually, because I really feel like the left side of the brain, that is our filter, our earth filter. Like I swear to God it is. Um and also, by the way, tonight in class, like my professor did say he knew about the visible light spectrum situation with ayahuasca. I brought it up in class. He goes, "Yes, I know." So he
ah
would like, so the idea that you guys, the hallucinations that people see that are collective, uh, might actually just be what's really there, and that they're just able to see it because their like ability to see what the visible light is enhanced. So we're
right.
able to see past that light spectrum. And he
That
was
has
like,
to
"Yes,
do
I
with
know." And I was like, "Oh God, awesome." So it's not just some thing I randomly read. Like my professor like was well aware of it, and I was like, "Yes." So that's another extra like, kind of like feather in
yeah.
the cap of that, because that would be amazing to find that out. Like,
Yeah,
just how good it is.
absolutely.
Like that means everything's real. All of it.
Right? Oh, and so by trial and error, I figured out that
Yeah.
I heal people through ritual. I mean,
Oh,
I have
yeah.
people tell me when they're around me, they feel like they just took a Xanax. Like they do tell
Mhm.
me that. And I'm like, really? Because I am not that chill.
No,
Like,
I
what are
am
you
so
talking
chill.
about?
I
And
am not
they're
chill at
like,
all.
no, I wish I always felt like this. I'm like, that's freaking fabulous. Could you kick me down some of
Yeah,
whatever I
yeah, yeah,
got? Like,
yeah, yeah. Like, and that's the thing, is your idea of a healer might be like a doctor or nurse, but that's not
yes, I
accurate.
am.
Like,
Chalet says, are you
yeah,
a Pisces?
it is.
Okay, I am a Pisces sun, Scorpio moon, Cancer rising. And then I also have my Pisces in Venus and Mercury, I believe. So I am very, very, very watery.
Yeah. Yeah, and like, I mean, should we do questions? Like, do we do questions?
Yeah, guys, bring us some
You know what
questions.
questions
Let's
you
do
guys
some
want with
psychic
reading?
questions,
I got a
questions
new
about
deck.
covens.
I got a new deck. Oh, I may have showed it
Yay!
last time, but no, I didn't. The Adventure Time deck I love it because we weren't on last week, so right? Or were we? I can't remember. Were we on last week? I can't remember when we were off of the
We
show.
were on last week. You
Okay.
had the Adventure Time ones on.
Oh damn, I did. Sorry guys. Sorry, yeah.
I think I don't remember. Well, of course your memory is bad because that's another thing, guys. When you're psychic and you go liminal a lot, and liminality is like the space between, right? And that's where we go when we ritual too, and where we ceremony. We go in the liminal. That's like why you cast a circle, you know? And when you're yes, when you're in there, right? You're in a magic space, okay? And time is not real. So time doesn't exist. And the more you channel, the more time doesn't exist. So you're going to get even more forgetful because you're channeling. You're just allowing. You're not holding information.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, that is one of the things in my research about psychic ability is one of the common threads is that people have bad short-term memory, like, because of that stuff. So I have a couple questions. I'm going to do blue portals right here about this, crush. And then do you see Posse Fit Spirit? That one, Stephanie?
Yes, actually, I would love that Posse Fit Spirit because I actually am a gift activator. I have it on my website as well. That's one of my other gifts is like if you hang out with me or if you come to an activation, then I activate your innate gifts inside yourself. Like you might, if you're already psychic, you might be more psychic with me. If you're already a healer, you might instantly know how to heal with your hands with me.
Hi, Tina. There's another classmate.
Awesome.
How's it going? So let's see. Okay, so.
But yes, I will answer that one after you do the first one.
Okay, so blue portal. Let's see. Is it you have a crush on somebody and you want to know if it's a lesson? Let's see.
Well, first of all, if they're a quantum healer, honey, oh baby, you're in trouble because us quantum healers feel so good to people that they're like, I'm in love with you.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, it looks like this is has more to do with your own stuff. Like it has more to do with like your own intuition and your own intuitive abilities, and like this could be somebody that you could learn from because you have the moon and the two of wands here. So like that makes me feel like the moon is about our like spiritual side, right? Could be also that you just don't know a lot about him. There's some hidden stuff about him, which probably there is. If he's a quantum healer, probably a player. Like I'm just gonna say. But on top of that, like because the guys, spiritual things. But like it looks like that then two of wands is like, something maybe you can learn from this situation. But let's see what else. And yeah, like I think that it would not work out in a romantic sense. This person would probably not be the best for you. I got 10 of swords, so no, in that regard. So maybe a lesson, yes, but I think the lesson is a lesson of like your own ability in certain things rather than a romantic one, if that makes sense. Like you need to be, oh shit, 3 of swords, man. Yeah. So no, like there's no, this is not for that, not for that, not for that. Yeah, not for that. Okay, like don't do that. Like this person would be no bueno, man, no bueno. But I think that it's definitely something that you can learn. Maybe spark your interest in that. You know what I mean? Like to learn about it yourself because this person
showing up like a teacher or a good. Oh, really? Like what about like as a guru though? Or a teacher.
Like, yeah, like if you have like a romantic feelings, it's going to end in heartache. But if it's like a learning process situation, that's a different path. Like that's a different one. So I would say that like the energy that you're okay. Yeah, so the energy that you're feel like the like that you feel for him or whatever is because it's this thing you're missing. Like the I don't know, like it's like this something that he has that is missing in you that you need to fill for yourself. Like that cup needs to be filled for yourself by you. And this is like identifying that for you. Does that make sense? Like this is going to identify that for you.
That makes perfect sense because we vibrate towards people that might have something that unlocks something in us, right?
Yeah, see, and then
I mean, like these
yeah,
new
this has to
age.
do with childhood, girl. Like this, are you a girl? I'm sorry, I just assumed that. I don't
Yes,
know.
yes, it
Okay,
is. It
I
is.
don't
It's
know. Because this is Six of Cups. This is about going back. So this is something, a wound that's from before that is still there and that needs to be healed. And so like this person is exuding some kind of energy that would help that, and it's that's why the beckoning, that like feeling that you have, the draw, like that being drawn to, is not to him per se. It's to this energy thing. I'm not sure how I even say that right. Okay. Oh, it makes total sense. Okay, great. Because I have no idea what I'm saying. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay. I'm glad it makes sense to you. Okay. All
All
right. So
right.
let's see.
I'll go with this one.
Okay.
Can I find out about my psychic gift? I don't see anything like ghosts, but I feel a deep connection to nature. Can I know what futures that I might be able to develop? Ariane. Ariane, I already see that you have deep connections to animals. Like, I think you could do animal communication and Reiki. I really feel like, because the moment that you talked about that, I saw a fox in my head. You in the forest with a fox. Foxes are good omens. And also, that means that you're on more of a shamanic kind of path, and I see you really learning animism. So I would definitely follow that path to see where it leads. But I don't see like large animals around you. I see smaller, like woodland creatures. And that could also be a sign, that could also be something that it means something to you more than it does to me. So I hope that helps, Ariane.
The next one.
And also, Shaylee, oh my gosh, yes, I feel you on your placements. Yeah, I have some obviously I have a Scorpio placement, right? You just look at me and you go, oh, that girl has a Scorpio placement.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a rough one, right? But yes, it's our season. Pisces season, yay! So Shaylee, when's your birthday? Mine's next week.
Oh, shit.
Let's see. First of all, Jeanette, I have to give you kudos on your son's name, D'Artagnan. That is beautiful.
Yeah, that's my last name, Jen. Yes, this is she's in the program
awesome.
with me too. Her and Tina are with them. So
Okay.
yeah, like yeah, that's a very cool name. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Your son's path. How old is he? I forget. Like, he's a teenager right now. Is he a teenager? Let's see. Or is he in college? What's he doing? I don't know. Man, I don't know. He's got, looks like he has some, like, is he having some problems? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like he has some kind of like psychic situation going on or something. I don't know. Looks like he has some kind of, maybe he's at a conflict with something in his own head. He needs a different perspective on things. Like, he needs to have, wait. So there's going to be a change coming up. Okay, hang on. Let me regroup. Okay. So there's, I don't know. There's something needs to end for him. I'm not sure what that is. Like there needs to be a different something. Oh, hang on. That card flew way the hell out of my hand. Sorry. Cards. Let's see. We got okay. Oh, the Hermit. All right. So yeah, like he needs to do some inner like he needs to get in touch with something and himself. Like there's something here. I got the High Priestess. I got the Hermit. Right. I got the Hanged Man. I got Death. Like not death, not like death, but like
Death
change,
is always change.
yeah,
Yep.
change. So he's 22. Okay, all right. So yeah, like he's in. I feel like that he's getting in. He's getting things and it's bothering. I don't know if it's bothering him or he doesn't understand like what's going on. Maybe I don't know. I think he's having some inner turmoil for sure. Like there needs to be. I feel like I want to say like some kind of like guidance or something for him. Like there's like, and he feels like all right. So there's like a defensive feeling to him too. Like I feel like he's against like not accepting what's happening. Like he has like some gifts. Okay, he has something going on. Like, and there's a reason that he's like not. I like he's he's like, look it. There's this 7. Where to go? The 7 of Wands. He's like on top, and he's like, no, I'm gonna. Nope, I'm not doing this. Like, get away. Like, nope, pushing it away. Like, right. Um, and then he's like isolated. Like, he's all in his head, right? And then he's in his head here too with the high priestess. And then he's like stuck. Like, he's stuck, and he needs a different perspective. Like, he needs to see something differently. Like, there needs to be some kind of change that occurs for him. Like, something needs to happen, a catalyst, if you will. Like, that needs to like kind of get him rolling on this path. Like, because he has abilities. I feel like it's some kind of ability, and like, and he's not about it. Like, he's like, oh, I don't want. No, this is fucking crazy people shit. Like, that's. I feel like that he's telling himself that like that's what crazy people do, or something like that. I don't know. And he just wants to focus on like being normal. Um, and not like at anything about this, like at all. I don't know why. Like, I don't know what this doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I'm like, has she responded in the chat at all?
Let me look. Sorry. He has been closed off from his gifts since his dad died since at age 9. Okay.
Oh, so he has okay. So
he's a really gifted athlete. Okay.
And his financial aid just got cut off. So there's the change.
But these changes are catalysts
for a reason. It's for a reason. Okay. Okay, sorry. All right. So let's see what's coming up then. Okay. All right. So look, he's gonna end up 3 of Cups. So despite this setback, which for you as a mom, I get it. That's a setback. Like, that sucks. But it's like but this is the 3 of Cups means that he's going to be meeting some people that are going to help, like, this going to get him going in a different direction, right? Like, that's coming up. Oh crap. Hang on, I gotta mute myself. Can you
yeah, of course I can handle this. Yes. Sorry. Okay, so thank you, Jeanette, for that. And I'm going to take the next one, which is Firewoman 5. So I want to tell you that you do have several grandfatherly people around you. And we had talked about this before, that I always see men around you and not women. And I do see that there's an issue with the women in your family line. Like, I'm seeing a very strained relationship between yourself and your mother or grandmother. And it's because the women in your family, it feels like they closed themselves off to their own abilities, their own power, but the men didn't. And so your soul, like, actually vibrates at the resonance that the men do in your family. And that's why when I've read you before, it's consistently men, because that's why also that's your expertise, that you can, like, just see a man, like, boom, just, Yeah. And so you're highly favored by your male ancestors, and you have a lot of grandfatherly types around you. And I keep seeing this older man with, like, a comb over a mustache, like, it's just like a thick mustache, and he's got white hair. And he's just watching over you. And I can't really... And do you know a Barney? Or does anybody in the audience know a Barney?
Okay. I have...
And also, okay, so she said yes, mother conflict and daughter conflicts. That makes sense. Firewoman, it's because you resonate at a different vibration. You resonate at this vibration for a reason. That's why you have the expertise you do. That's why you do what you do. Like, this has been your path. Okay, no Barney for you. Got it. And this is also why, like, you do what you have made a difference in men's lives. Like, big time. Like, I want to say, like, I wish I could, like, use the right term, because I feel like I have a lack of something to say here, but it's like you're a guru for men. Like, that's the best way I could describe it. And it being in your feminine body and being so empowered.
Ooh, you froze.
with a damsel in distress, but they know what to do when an empowered woman tells them how to do something.
Oh, okay. So I got more for Jen. I'm sorry. I had to take that phone call. Sorry, guys.
That is totally fine. Thank you so much,
sorry.
Firewoman.
Sorry,
I love reading for you, so we'll do Anna's gonna finish up this one and then I'll do the next one.
Yeah, and then I have to go after that because I got like my boyfriend's on his way over. Like we went away over time. Like, and so I still have to make dinner. But okay, so Jen, if you're still here, hopefully I'm sorry I had to interrupt that. I got a phone call that came in and I had to answer it. So I got death again. So this is like, and then this is like, so it's reiterating the fact that something's ending for him, right? And then the next card I got is a Four of Swords, like taking a moment to like kind of, he's gonna have to like regroup, right? Like he's gonna have to recuperate from this break. But then after that, it's the Fool. So like there's something that's gonna happen in between this period where there's some other people I think that are going to help him, like kind of find a, like I think he's like, I don't know, like he needs to have like a little fire under his ass about something. Like he needs to be passionate about something. And that's gonna happen. And then also like after that, I see like, dude, it looks good. Like I'm just saying, like right now it doesn't look good. I get that. I see it, but it's gonna be fine. Like he's gonna be fine. And he is gonna find some other thing. Like I got the Ace of Cups here. So he's gonna find something that he loves, that he's all about, that is giving him like that. Let's go. Let's do it again. Okay. Like, so this, I mean, look at this card. It's like, I'm all about it. Okay. So this is something that like this, I hate to say, but this is like a thing that needed to happen for his own growth. Like, and I know that it's a shitty situation, right? But it's something, because then the next card I got is the World. Like, so this is something that come to completion. Like he's going to be able to complete this cycle of like this age group, like young adult, and go out and be a successful adult. Like, that's what I'm seeing. And then because now after that you get Knight of Wands energy, which is like going, taking action, and having a steady stable, like, steed under you, like to do that. Like, does that make sense? Like, so this is a lesson. It's a lesson. He's learning a lesson here. And that lesson is going to be learned. Like he's gonna be like, it's a harsh one, but like it's going to be okay. So
and at 22 though, that's when we kind of start our initiations, right? I mean, you and I had them early, but like that's about the average time for people who do have a gift to start really coming online and seeing what's around them.
After like some, like after the death of his father, right? Like that will be it's going to keep popping back up. So like that's the thing, in his life it's going to keep popping back up until he just accepts it. That's the problem. Like the problem is it's going to keep sneaking in there and like kind of, shaking him off his foundation until he gets over that and like just accepts it for what it is. And so I don't think as mom, you know how it is. Moms we don't know anything, we don't know shit. Like who are we? We've never been through it, right? We have no idea what we're talking about. So it has to be coming from somebody else, unfortunately. Like that's the problem. But I feel like that person's coming in, or is just coming in, that has just come in, or is about to come in, that's going to be able to help shift that perspective, and then he'll start to like embrace that again, and like that's going to help him a lot. Like, so I see that it's good going forward. It doesn't seem like right now, it just seems like catastrophe, but it's gonna be okay, so hopefully that helps. And then
and to everyone we missed in the chat, please tune in, because we do this every week. We're going to be here every Thursday at 7:30.
Yeah.
And we're set. Well, I thought you had class, Anna.
Today it was 7:30 because I had class. Like I don't normally have class, but yes, Jen, yes, that's the answer. It's yes, he will embrace his fire after the shit show. Yes, because the shit show is like the catalyst. Okay, I'm sorry, it sucks. I know.
You have to have something to break you open in order to allow the gift to come out.
Yeah, and Tina, I will read your cards. Like if you're available tomorrow, let me know. I have time tomorrow to do it anytime. Like, well, not anytime. I'm working on campus from 11:30 to 1:30, but anytime after that, I'm available. Okay, I'm so sorry. But I have like
we ran over time, but we love seeing you guys. And you guys are night owls. It's okay. And so anyway, thank you everyone for joining us and for coming on and hearing us, and hopefully we helped somebody out there, because we didn't go on this path just to dilly-dally and put our thumb up our butt and just like, oh, now I'm a witch, like we want to help.
So message me, email me, and let me know when it will work for you if you can have time tomorrow. Okay, please. I'm sorry, I know I owe you some. All right, everybody, love you guys, and we'll see you guys next week, or I'll see you in class sooner than that if you're in my classes. Okay.
Thank
Thanks,
you
my guys.
guys.